There is often a struggle between the self that is known and the self that one believes one is called to be. How do you navigate that?
You are introduced to an iteration of yourself that poverty refused to reflect. With most people, they turn without rather than turn within. You never want to get to a point where you're comfortable.
Yes, ma'am.
Because when you're comfortable, you stop growing.
So good.
That's why vision is important.
It's good.
Because it tunes your station. And one of the best practices of leadership is not just the ability to envision the future, but to articulate it. Where are we going? Do we have the capacity as a team?
Most young leaders, and specifically in this environment, are facing. If you are called for anything great and you're smart, you're going to resist the call.
A lot of people try to be the best, but you have no competition if you are the only. Just show up and be the only.
If there is somebody who's watching this conversation and they're encountering Dr. Cindy Trimm for the first time and they want to study your work, where would you recommend they start? Hello, family. Welcome to another episode of Ideas That Mattered. My guest today is Dr. Cindy Trimm, international best-selling author. She's written books that have sold well over 1 million copies worldwide. She's been a leader in politics and in business. She spends her time traveling the world and teaching people about leadership, about mastery of self, mastery of the world, and most importantly, about how to make sure you leave the world a better place than you found it. If you are a leader asking yourself questions about how can you do better and improve, this is the conversation for you. I need you to do one thing though. Get a pen and paper because you're going to be writing down some really, really powerful notes, great wisdoms, and a lot of quotable quotes. Enjoy the episode. Hit like, share, subscribe. We'll see you on the other end of this. Cheers. Dr. Cindy.
Hey, I know about this.
Thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you
So
for
we
having
open every
me.
podcast with a dad joke. This is mine. After dinner, my wife asked if I could clear the table. I needed a running start, but I made it. I don't get this one either. After dinner, my wife asked if I could clear the table. I needed a running start.
Yes, I get it.
Do you get it?
Yeah,
In other
airplane.
words-
It's an airplane joke.
Oh, clear your tables.
Yes.
And of course, the runway.
Yes.
Needed 2 standard deviations of thought to get that one.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
Let's hear yours.
Here's mine. Why is Peter Pan always flying?
I don't know why.
Because he never lands.
Never. never land.
Yes.
So good.
This
So
one is good, yeah.
That's good. That
yeah,
was good.
yeah.
So, what is it about what in your upbringing framed the ideas you would hold to be true, which would make you who you are?
Poverty.
Explain this to me.
I think poverty is like a launch pad. It puts enough pressure on you to go within to look for the resources that you don't have without. And so what happened with me in growing up, and I started my first business at 8 because there was a lack of resources.
Right.
So with most people, they turn without rather than turn within. So if you turn without, you end up being a beggar.
Right.
And you undermine your potential.
Right.
But if you turn within, you are introduced to an iteration of yourself that poverty refused to reflect.
You are introduced to an iteration of the self that poverty refuses to reflect.
Yes. So,
Said differently, that iteration of yourself can't exist and you are poor at the same time.
exactly.
Huh.
So that's when I discovered I was a businesswoman at 8. I discovered that I was a creator of my future.
Right.
And that every decision that I made was like making an appointment with my future. And so if I landed in my future, then I didn't have to be surprised by the realities therein because I created it.
Every decision that I made was an appointment with my future.
Yes.
Say that in English.
In English, I'm simply saying that, you know, you're given freedom of choice. And a choice can only be made if you have options. So poverty, usually conditions a person to believe that they don't have options.
So good.
So in the absence of you or me, since you're asking me the question, making a decision or choosing, in the absence of that, a choice is made for me.
So good.
Yeah. So I lose my efficacy. I lose my personal power.
Yeah.
By looking outside
Yeah.
for what is inside.
Yeah.
But it's in potential form. It's like a seed.
Oh, how did you cognize this at 8?
I just did. It was obvious. It was just obvious to me. I mean, there was no money in the house. We had more month than money. So my mother, stretched everything, but there was more month than money.
God bless her.
But the beautiful thing about my mother is she was calibrated
Right.
by her upbringing.
Right.
And she grew up in wealth.
Right.
So she had a wealth paradigm.
Right.
And that's what she transmitted to me. And how she transmitted it was, if I said, I want to do ballet, she never said, I don't have money. She would say, okay. I need a new pair of shoes. Okay. And that okay was the catalyst that gave rise for me owning my life and taking 100% responsibility for my progress, for my education, for my financial health, that okay. And so I didn't grow up with a whole lot of no's. And if there was not a lot of no's, it meant yes to me. And the yes was an affirmation. Cindy, you could do this yourself. If this is what you want, you can create it yourself.
So because there was no no's, I want to translate this and download it for myself. So you're saying because there was no no's, it meant that the barrier was never, there was never a wall there, but rather a pathway. It was yes, therefore find the way.
Find the way.
Right,
It was affirming.
Right. So first
something
you
in
can.
me.
Yeah. And now that we know you can, find the way to make it so.
And that was my interpretation.
So good.
Because a lot of times we craft narratives.
Doc, this is so good.
Around an experience.
So good.
And if you understand that you are co-writing your script, and anytime you get good and ready, you can insist on a plot twist. And that you are never, or I discovered, looking back, as I analyzed my life, I discovered that I did not have to play supporting actress in the unfolding of a script that neither me nor God wrote. So you can't just hand me a script and expect me to play the role. And I discovered that I was born to play lead actress in the unfolding of my own life. So I played lead. And I never asked permission. I never knew I couldn't do it. I just did it.
If I may, there are so many ideas that I just want to pick at, but give me the grace to just sequence them. So, you don't accept the script.
No.
Which means you would have had to understand that somebody wrote it.
Yes.
Right. And that they probably wouldn't have written it for it to favor you as the lead actress.
Correct.
In other words, that whomever it is, whether it's a person or a system that crafted that script, would have had an agenda in the script crafting.
Absolutely.
Whoa. Okay.
So I just took the pen out of their hand, and they never gave them permission. Never, ever gave them permission.
Of course, what will happen when you do that is that those who have written the script will insist you play the character that they have developed for your likeness.
So they lived a disappointed life. I disappointed them. I fired them.
I love how you make this
are
their
not
disappointment.
producer. You are not the producer. You're not the producer of my life.
Oh, this is so good.
So you just fired.
I just love how you made it. They lived a disappointed life.
Yeah.
Rather than I lived a frustrated life, constantly pushing against the boundaries. It was you're disappointed. I'm not frustrated.
So the whole concept that I'm introducing is the concept that falls under the major heading, self-mastery. Self-mastery starts with self-awareness. So a lot of us try to have dominion outside of ourselves. But the first, I think, law of dominion is to have mastery over what you are not, to have dominion over what you are not. So you have to determine who you are. And that takes work. Who am I? How do I define myself? And self-awareness is the ability to know where you end and everyone else begins. You know, and I'll give you imagery here. A ship is built to sail in water.
Yes, ma'am.
But not take it on. And it only sinks when it takes on water.
That's right.
So I learned not to take it on. I don't take on drama. I don't take on people's perception of me, good or bad. There's a lot of things I don't take on. I didn't take on a designation of poverty. I just didn't take it on. So my life is just floating in the sea of success and prosperity.
Can we go back to this idea of self-mastery?
Yeah.
You said it starts with taking dominion over what you are not.
Yes.
What does that mean?
It simply means that, you know, you live in society, you live in a family.
Yes, ma'am.
And people constantly tell you what you are and what you're not.
Yes, ma'am.
Educational system does it, and it creates a paradigm
I get that.
that ends up being self-imposed limitations and lids.
Right.
So you have to have the courage to really cast all of those things from off of you to discover who you really are. And I'll give you another example, which is easy for people to understand, coping skills, which is unconscious programming on how to make life work. So how to navigate the terrain of other people, you know, how to navigate the terrain in the workplace. And then you end up with these coping skills. And people end up in therapy for years.
That's right.
Because they're trying to fix or eliminate something that they're not, rather than finding out who they are. It's a waste of time. These are just coping skills. So if you learn them, you can unlearn them. And, you know, talking about self-mastery, a part of self-mastery, of course, is mindset mastery.
Yes, ma'am.
And so as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So if you could change your thoughts, you could change your life. And so, you know, a lot of times we absorb and we rehearse what other people think about us. And it's almost self-hypnosis. You keep saying it long enough until you build these neurological pathways. And your life always travels that way. So when people sit in front of me and they start talking about this is what people said, this is what's happening on social media, I stop them and I say, never, ever repeat an untruth about yourself. Never. Because you're programming yourself to become it. So you don't repeat gossip. You just let people feel what they want to feel. Why? Because they have the right to live out of their mind, but they don't have the right to live out of yours.
Hey.
That's your right.
Hey.
And I can only live out of my mind.
Hey.
So I'm not going to spend my precious 24 hours
So good.
figuring out what you think about me.
So good.
I'd rather tell you than to allow you to figure me out. Show up as myself. And there's only one space in this world, in humanity, that I can occupy. And that is a space called me. And I owe the world, an explanation of who I am. I do.
Told by your own words.
Yeah. Yeah. Superman, I love movies.
Right.
He's talking to his father, trying to figure out who he is.
Right.
And so his father says, somewhere out there, you have another father. And he sent you here to the earth for a reason. You owe it to yourself and the world to find out what that reason is. You have to find it out. And so going back to the whole idea of growing up in poverty, I had to find out, discover, who is this human being? Because your identity determines how you show up in the world. It determines everything.
Amen.
You've got to live from your identity.
I know that's true.
Do you know what excites me? Not just tech,
not just business. What actually really drives me, the one thing that actually really excites me, is when Africa stops watching the future, when we stop being observers of what's happening and we start hosting it, right? And I think for the longest time, we've spoken about innovation as though it lives somewhere else. It's always been this thing that's coming from Silicon Valley or Europe or the Middle East, right? But in 2026, something important is happening here in our continent, here at home. For the first time ever, Africa is hosting the Odu Experience right here in our own continent. And we're doing it in Nairobi, right? On the 3rd and 4th of September, we're going to be gathered in Nairobi, Kenya. 2026, this is the time for the Odu Africa Experience. And trust me when I say this, this isn't just another one of those like meetings or conferences, although meeting and conferencing is important. But it is a global opportunity for business owners across the African continent. You know, I remember we hosted a global event in 2010, the FIFA World Cup, and now Kenya is hosting this Odu Experience. And I think it really is about how do we take the continent and allow each other to take the next step forward. Before we go any further, I've been talking about Odu for quite some time now. You would have seen that they're clearly one of our partners in the channel, and they have a full business management suite. It's sales, it's CRM, it's website, inventory, HR, accounting, everything you need to turn your idea into a business and to run that business solidly on one platform. And every year, businesses, developers, entrepreneurs, students, industry leaders from around the world gather at the Odu Experience to explore the future of business and the future of technology. Usually, they do these in like Brussels, right, in Belgium, because that's, of course, where Odu is headquartered. But this year, Africa gets the stage. And that matters to me. It matters because it means businesses from across the continent get to see how modern companies are building and scaling live, in person. So what are you going to see at the conference? You're going to see some live product demos. You're going to see some new AI features that they're launching, which features I think are going to be built specifically for African businesses. You're going to see some real companies sharing practical use cases. There's going to be some incredible training sessions and workshops that they're going to be hosting. And of course, networking, because you want to meet developers and founders and decision makers and financiers, even entertainment, games, live performances. It's all going to be happening at the conference. I've always insisted on the importance of being in the right rooms. And it's important because that's how you build scale. It's through networks. So you don't want to miss this. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a developer, or an executive, or a student, this is the platform for you. You want to be in this room. You want to meet others, you want to engage, and you want to build. So whether you're a builder in the early stages or a scaler looking to scale up your business or an executive, you want to be at this conference. See you there. Link in the description. Get your tickets. Cheers.
I was talking to Les Brown, and he asked me a question. He said, "You're an alien." I know you're an alien. Tell me you came from another planet, right? And he said...
You would have said it with that gregarious voice, right?
He said, who are you? Who are you? And I thought first, and initially I wanted to talk about what I did. Mm-hmm. And then I was cautioned by this inner wisdom. Mm-hmm. And I heard in my ear, and I repeated it to him. I said, I am Imago Dei, the highest representative of divine genius and intelligence, given as a gift to humanity for such a time as this. But not only am I Imago Dei, you are, and all humanity is. And if we can just own that identity, automatically the world will be a better place. Why? A better me is a better we. A better I is a better us. So rather than demanding everyone else change, why don't I take the lead? And that's what self-mastery is all about. You know, getting back in the driver's seat, discovering who you are, knowing where you end, someone else begins. And then there are bookends. There are 14 other dimensions. And then the last one is self-love. After self-awareness, knowing where you end and someone else begin, the next thing is self-knowledge. and knowing who you are, your personality, and feeling comfortable with it, because that goes into self-approval. So once you see who you are, and by the way, identity doesn't corroborate or collaborate with the 23 chromosomes that was given to you by your father and the 23 chromosomes that was given to you by your mother. Those chromosomes, they build your personality, but they don't build your identity.
Explain this.
Identity is you being Omega Day, period. Mic drop. That's it. You're created in the image and after the likeness of God. So the more you know about God, the more you know about yourself.
I really need to download that.
The first thing I learned about God in Genesis 1, God created the heavens and the earth.
That's right.
So that makes me a creator. I create the realities in my life.
Right.
Period.
As did God create the reality we are living in. Huh.
And if you can own that, I mean, 8 years old, I couldn't articulate it like this because I didn't have the intellectual building blocks, right? But I can articulate it now. I can articulate it.
So there'd be somebody watching this who feels, I love the word you used, that you said Liz Brown used with you, who feels alien in their environment. And typically what happens is if I feel alien in an environment, I initially assume something's wrong with the environment. But given sufficient feedback from the environment that something's wrong with me, I then go, then something must be wrong with me. And then I begin to go through this process of trying to correct whatever it is with me that is wrong. This is what you were talking about, the coping mechanisms and the therapy, etc. So I love this idea that it's about knowing where you end and the rest of the world, the rest of society begins. Love that. It does mean, though, still, that there will constantly be a tension between self and the rest. How have you negotiated that tension? And let me ask the question this way. One of the things I found was fascinating about your story, your history, and your resume is you were constantly in rooms where it would outwardly appear as if somebody would have disqualified you from being in that room.
Yeah.
But it reads almost as like a tenacious story of just, well, she just kind of bulldozed her way in and went in there.
No, I showed up and owned my space. And a lot of people try to be the best, but you have no competition if you are the only. So stop trying to be the best. Stop trying to qualify and fight and compete. Just show up and be the only. I'm the only person in the world that can be Cindy Trimm. There could be sound-alikes, look-alikes, right?
That's good.
But I am the only one, so I own this space.
Yeah, that's good.
And, every year on my birthday, I'm introduced to a new iteration, a new version of me. So I have to have the courage to let go of the old version. No matter how successful she was, I still have to let her go. And I get 1 year to discover this next iteration. And that's why birthdays, people are confused because we're not celebrating who you were at birth. We're celebrating who you're becoming on your next birthday.
This is why we're marking the milestone.
Yeah.
Right.
So you have the opportunity to let the past go, no matter how good, no matter how bad.
So good.
And then you've got this clean slate.
So good.
There was a time when I wasn't 21. I was 20.
Yes, ma'am.
So why would I want to hold on to the 20-year-old version
of yourself
when the 21-year-old version has never been rejected, has never been hurt, has never been traumatized, has never been failed? And I say, if you want to get to know someone awesome and incredible, get to know yourself. Yeah.
They would have been, we'll come back to these tenets of self-mastery because I love this, but they would have been in your journey disappointments, for sure.
Rejections, disappointments, you name it. But I reserve the right to reframe all of my experiences.
Explain that.
And change the narrative.
Okay, this is what I struggle with. So explain this.
So I say to people, poverty was a gift. Rejection was a gift. And they say, what do you mean? So rejection is an announcement that you've outgrown a relationship or a realm or a region, that they no longer have the capacity for what you are carrying. They may have capacity for your gifts, but not your greatness. They may have capacity for your now, but not your next. And if you don't have the courage to give yourself the gift of goodbye, then rejection becomes that gift. So there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with them. They just don't have the capacity. That realm, that region, just don't have the capacity. And we don't have to assign something being wrong with anybody.
Sure.
Mind your own business. My business is right here. Could things be the way they are because you are the way you are? What one thing can you change that can change everything? You could change your mind about yourself and how you show up in this world. And so I and I alone have the right to reframe any experience. Any. So I always choose positive.
Do you have a sequence or a ritual that you follow when you're reframing an experience?
I just tell it.
So your methodology is you speak it into your mind.
Yeah. So when a person says, oh, what did you do with rejection? I celebrated it. Why? Because it was an announcement that I had outgrown a realm, region, or relationship and stayed too long. I got over familiar with the familiar.
Doc.
I got over comfortable. So comfort is where your dreams go to die. Familiarity is where you shoot your potential at point blank range. So you always want tension in your life. You never want to get to a point where you're comfortable.
Yes, ma'am.
Because when you're comfortable, you stop growing.
Yes, ma'am.
So life demands growth. Anything that doesn't grow dies.
That's right.
And so that's the same thing. It's the same thing with the seed of potential. Something in you dies. That's why people are depressed. They're not depressed because of things that are outside of them. Depression happens when something inside of you dies and you allow it. You didn't pay attention to that. You were too caught up in an external experience. You were too caught up in excusing yourself from taking 100% responsibility for your life. And you became a spectator and you excuse yourself. And this is how people excuse themselves. I'm a victim. Stuff is happening to me, not because of me, not through me. I don't take any responsibility. I could have spent my life talking about my father and his abandonment and his betrayal of the entire family. And people would have been sad, you know, I can understand why you're like you are. But I reframed the story. Everything I needed, my father gave it to me at conception. I didn't need it at birth. I needed it at conception. And that was the 23 chromosomes that eventually built this, I call it a hub, a wealth hub. I'm already a trillionaire. Thanks to my father who contributed to that wealth. I'm the proud owner of 72 trillion cells. And every day I get to determine how I'm going to use them.
That's good.
And I can convert it.
That's good.
I can convert it into wealth, a book, a business. I choose how I use that energy because, you know, the cells are containers of energy. I get to choose how I do it.
Every cell has a power source. What's yours?
Well, I think a better question is what's my superpower?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
I think my superpower is acceptance. Accepting people as I find them. Not trying to change anybody. But also having the courage to change myself. That's my superpower.
Hello, family. So I just learned something recently that I thought was absolutely crazy, that in the last month alone, 49.1% of you in our community that have watched these videos unsubscribed to the channel. Listen, it really, really would help me. It would go a long way if you did. We learn together, laugh together, we share value with each other. And so if I can ask anything of you, it would be please hit that subscribe button below. It helps us improve the algorithm for the channel. It helps make sure that YouTube recommends it to you. But more importantly, it helps me get better guests so I can present them to you. I look forward to seeing you on the other side of this. Cheers.
Going back to self-mastery. Self-mastery, that's my superpower. Mastering myself.
Daunting.
It's
Mirror is a hard thing to look into.
Yeah, but it's fun. It's fun. You have to have courage to journey within. So the last of man's exploration is not outer space. Is not shooting for Mars.
Oh, man.
The last of man's exploration is the journey that he will take within.
That's so good.
And it's a wonderful journey. It's scary. And this is why coaches are important, mentors. I think a person has to identify a mentor and say, you're my mentor. And a mentor's job is to take you to a place in yourself that you don't have courage to go by yourself. And that's self-discovery. They put up a mirror so that you could admire who you are and stop admiring who they are. A mentor doesn't want to be admired. They just want to be a mirror. This is who you are. And here are the tools to become a better you. You don't want to be a better me. You want to be a better you.
Amen.
And that's the only space you can occupy. And that space is called identity. And your identity is not a shanty. It's not a condominium. It's not even a mansion. It is an estate.
So good. It's good.
Yes.
So if it is true that we command our reality, what does that mean practically? Practically.
It means that you take 100% responsibility
Right.
for your actions and the outcomes.
Right.
And if you end up with outcomes that you don't like, you could change the strategy.
I get that part.
Yeah.
What is the risk of just running into it being an illusion?
Life is a risk, isn't it?
This is true.
And that's what faith is all about. It's climbing a tree, going out on a limb, and not waiting for that limb to break. It's sawing the limb off and daring to grow wings on the decline.
On the way down.
On the way down. Wings, don't fail me now. I know
Better
you're
not.
there. I know
Better
you're
not.
there somewhere.
Open up.
So that's, to me, that's what challenge is all about. Someone has to challenge you. Something has to challenge you.
That's good.
And if you don't have the courage to, take risks, if you don't have the courage, then life and people will challenge you.
So you don't have to answer this, but I ask it because even after our conversation yesterday, this was a ruminating thought at the back of my mind. So have you never had a moment of self-doubt? Just a moment where you thought, I shouldn't be in here. I'm not qualified
Never.
for this spin. Never, ever?
I've never had
In your
that.
entire life?
I tell people, because I grew up in poverty, some of my wiring is missing.
I love that.
It's just missing. It's just missing.
My line is, I was dropped at birth, and so it's disconnected, but I love that.
Yeah. I never got the memo.
That's so good.
I didn't
that's
get
so
the
good.
memo to be afraid. I didn't, I tell you this story. When I was in maybe second grade, we had to write an essay.
Yes, ma'am.
And it was the meanest teacher ever that I loved. I loved her. She was mean. The principal was afraid of her. The teachers were afraid of her. The students were afraid of her. And I was the only one that wasn't afraid. I talked so much. She used to put tape on my mouth, put me in a corner. And I would go home and say, guess what? my teacher is so lonely. She wanted me to stay. She didn't let me go out to recess because she
wanted to
needed
spend
company.
time with me.
She needed company, right? I would tell these stories to my mother.
That's good.
And so this particular teacher used to say, "You talk too much. That's what you do. You talk too much," and put tape around my mouth. And I didn't feel like it was an insult. I didn't feel like, I said, well, let me find a different way to communicate. So I started writing. It's still a form of communication. And she stood me up one day and she said, "This is the best essay that I have ever read in this age group."
Wow.
And years later, I became a best-selling author.
Wow.
So being able to reframe our lives and to think differently, I think I was born this way because of the gift that I carry to the world. And it's a gift of you can do it. You can do it.
Yesterday when you were on stage, and I said this to your aide, I was chatting to her because she was sat next to me. I said it to you afterwards, was as a professional orator, which you are, there is a theater sometimes in our business, right, that requires that you take residence on stage. Over the years, I've learned that the less the work the person does to take residence, typically the more power this person has. In other words, the true power doesn't require theater. It just is. So I'm sat watching you, and you were sitting, and you were speaking. You were looking at your notes, and you were speaking, but the whole room was dead quiet, right? To the untrained eye, it is a moment. But as I was looking at it, I thought, there must be a self-assuring belief that made you think you can do that, because you've got to be audacious to do that. That's the jump out and hope that it opens up, because it can work, or it cannot. Right? You could be up there, and the whole room could break up, and people could be doing their own things, or just not listening to you. So I wonder, help me here, help me. One, did you rehearse this?
No.
This is the question I wanted to ask.
No.
But the second question, which is the more important question, is how did you know that you would still command the room even if you didn't posture to what the room expected you to do? This, by the way, as you think about the answer, this is actually the question most young leaders, and specifically in this environment, are facing. There is a template, a playbook of how you're supposed to show up. And this template has been well rehearsed, well written, and several people have made this template a truism. And so anybody who shows up and says, this just doesn't feel authentic, right, requires a ton of courage. So I was sat there going, phew, could I sit and speak? And I wouldn't do that. The back of my mind, I was like, I wouldn't do that. I certainly, I wouldn't have the courage. It would take me a while to have the courage to do that. But you did it. And follow me here. And as you were doing it, I sent a note to one of my guys and I went, you weren't just doing it. You were also teaching and being instructional. And you were giving each teaching point enough time to be digested. Which to me then tells me this. It's not just that you're doing it in a way other people wouldn't do. It's also that you're doing it at your time. Do you get, like, this is huge. This is, if you go to a rock concert, there is a speed and a cadence at which a rock concert has to take place. A comedy show, a public speaking keynote, there is an energy. You were just like, no. My methodology, my message, my timing. And that's what I mean by commanded the room. It's almost as if you went and said, whatever the culture is here of how you guys do this, I'm going to do it the way that I do it. Okay. This is the foreground. So now I get back to the question. Where the hell does that come from? Because you've got to have some serious guts to go.
It comes from integrity. And then motivation.
Right.
And intention. So what is the intention of that speech?
Right.
What did I intend to happen?
Yes, ma'am.
I intended that messaging wasn't one that brought admiration to me. Going back to the mirror. My articulation, hopefully, would be the conversation or question that someone would ask, and I was only giving them the answer.
This is so good.
So
good.
becoming the voice that usually runs in their head.
Yes, ma'am.
So I just become that echo chamber.
Oh, so good.
I'm just reverberating
So good.
the answers or even the questions and coming up with the answers.
So if I downloaded that for myself, what you're saying is you were intentional about making sure your contribution was a guide through the woods rather than a performance on a stage.
Yes. So if this was
so
the
good.
only message I delivered to this group of people, would they have enough
This is so good.
to go on with their lives?
This is good.
And it was not about, even when I tell my stories, it's not for me to expose my life or my history. It's just me saying, I'm not better than you. I am you. This is just an assignment. But when I walk off the stage, I have to go on living my life. I have to go on creating success and prosperity. That's what I have to do. But I also recognize that you have to do it too. And here's some of the tools that I would use if I was you.
I understand that.
And I have the receipts. So I'm giving you something that has worked for me.
This receipts question, it's interesting you say that because that was literally going to be my next question about, as you were speaking, the principles you were teaching. I found myself asking the question, which was, which came first? Did the belief precede the achievement, or did the achievement precede the belief?
Belief
preceded the
achievement.
achievement?
Yes.
Right. And if this is true, then what was the belief based on? Typically, beliefs are aggregations of knowledge, which is based on data. We start with experiences, we accumulate data, we aggregate this into knowledge base, and seen frequently enough, we form a belief. And so you kind of just transcended all of this, went to belief, created the outcome, and then worked backwards.
Yeah.
The reason this is important is because a lot of the people who watch this podcast are at the stage where they're having this constant tension between belief and outcome. They believe their lives could be more, should be more, can be more.
But they don't execute at the level of their belief.
Okay, so help me with this. This is the part.
Right. It's the execution. So I think if you see yourself, how you see yourself, let me say it a different way. You cannot outperform your current concept of self, nor rise above the level of your self-worth. So rather than doing all the work out here frantically, do all the work here. And that's 80% of it. And your execution is only 20%.
It's good.
So it takes all of the laborious exercise of futility.
The theater.
And you throw that out.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you spend more time being than doing.
So good.
We spend more time doing because we know somewhere innately that we should be being, but we don't have the tools to be. We have the tools for performance.
And these are the tools you were speaking about, these self-mastery tools.
Yes.
So you spoke about self-knowledge.
Yeah.
I love that.
Self-acceptance.
And then self-acceptance.
Yeah.
What comes after the self-acceptance part?
Self-discipline.
Right.
Yeah. So self-discipline. And, you know, in between there's something called self-promotion. But before I get to the self-promotion, the self-discipline part, and people could be more disciplined if they knew where they were going and they knew what they wanted.
Yes, ma'am.
They could create the habits.
Yes, ma'am.
And habits are how we structure our lives,
So good.
right?
So
to take us from where we are to where we have the potential to be. And, you know, as adults,
So good. Yes, ma'am.
we don't have a vision for our lives. So any road would take you anywhere, but you don't want to be anywhere. You want to be somewhere at a specific time.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have to write a vision for your life. I wrote this book, Hello Tomorrow, chapter number 8.
By the way, love the title.
Yeah, Hello Tomorrow.
yeah.
I did Goodbye yesterday, too.
Oh, I didn't know about this
Yeah.
one.
But in Hello Tomorrow, chapter number 8, it shows you how to structure your life
Right.
around 12 elements.
Yes, ma'am.
And these are micro visions. And the big scheme of thing is your 20-year life plan. And you set in motion habits and disciplines that will get you there. So you don't worry about what you don't want. You just focus on what you want. And what you don't want will eliminate itself.
So good.
And so your thought interacts with the quantum realm of unlimited possibilities and potentialities, right?
I get that.
And so the moment you make a decision,
Yes, ma'am.
all other possibilities collapses. And that decision travels out into this realm.
That's right.
Like a train.
That's exactly right.
And it comes back to you as an experience
So
or an
good.
encounter.
So good.
An experience or an encounter.
Somebody won't download that, but somebody's going to get it. I
Yeah.
know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. So, again, that's what thought is. Thoughts and your vision and your attention and your focus creates this frequency. So the best way I can say this is you become a broadcasting station.
That's it. Yeah.
And you're gonna pick up whatever
Like
you're
frequencies,
tuned,
you're tuned
whatever
into.
you're tuned to.
So good.
And that's why vision is important.
It's good.
Because it tunes your station to what you want and not what you don't want. So this is how you can defy odds.
Because it clarifies it. So in other words, it removes the clutter.
Yeah.
And you're able, I just got it.
Yeah.
You're able to detect the signal from the noise.
Yeah.
Because you know exactly what image you're trying to transmit.
And this is where
This is
ideas
good.
come from,
This
right?
is so good.
So right now, over our heads,
Right.
everything is streaming.
Yes,
Music
ma'am.
is streaming,
Sure,
Netflix is streaming, everything is streaming.
Sure.
Right? But what do I tune my mind to? It's determined by that vision. So when all this stuff is happening around you and you have to make a decision with all the options that you've got, it is you being able to tune yourself to this one vision. And that determines the choice that you make based on all these options.
I get it.
Yeah. And
So
so that's
good.
how I live my life.
When does it translate from thought to words? One of the things you ministered to me about yesterday, and thank you for that, by the way, is you've got to be careful. We say this in Scripture, right? The power of life and death is in the tongue. But we often say it as a throwaway statement. What I understood you to say yesterday is you have to command it to be.
Command it.
And then what I also heard you to say is also don't command that which people are trying to prophesy over your life unless it's aligned with the vision you have of your life.
Yeah. I'll give you an example of that. I was a little younger. I wasn't married at that time. I got married later in life. And one of the pastors walked up to me crying and saying, I feel like, you need to give your life to the service of humanity because this is God's will for your life, and accept the fact that you might be single for the rest of your life.
Whoa.
And I said to him, I do not accept that as a word for my life. I do not. Why? Because I've already written my vision.
Right.
So I didn't go out dating and running around and dressing in a certain way because I wrote my vision. And then I turned the vision into declarations. And then my husband came.
Belief, then the
Because
outcome.
I was the one that said that I'm going to be successful professionally before I got married. I'm going to create this amazing life for myself, then I'll get married. So guess what happened? I created an amazing life for myself.
And then you got married.
Then I got married. He came looking for me. I didn't go looking for him.
So good.
And I didn't write bozo down on my vision. So I never attracted
Bozo the
bozo.
clown wasn't there.
No way.
That's good.
Yeah.
If I can, a practical takeaway, maybe a mechanics question. When you were writing this vision down, is there a process that you follow? Is there a sequencing that you follow?
Yeah. My first vision, I wrote, this is my second 20-year vision. Because every individual should have a 20-year life vision.
Sure.
Or a 20-year life plan. Every corporation should have a minimum of 50-year plan. And every nation should have a minimum of 100 years.
So individual, 20 years.
Yeah.
Corporation, 50 years.
Yes.
Nation, 100 years.
A minimum.
Wow.
But it's a discipline of mind, isn't it? It's discipline. You have to discipline your mind. You have to trust. We call it the inner wisdom. I call it the Spirit of God. But if you call it the inner wisdom, I'm fine with it. If you call it the Spirit of God, his job is to download into your spirit what is later uploaded in your mind, and we call it an idea.
I like that.
Jeremiah said, I know the thoughts I think towards you, talking about God. Thoughts of good, not of evil, to bring you to an expected end.
Yes.
Okay? So if he has it in his mind, then it's just a matter of time before I have it in my mind. And we call it a desire. Not all of us desire the same thing.
Right.
Pay attention to that. That's God speaking to you.
Oh.
It's a God whisper.
Oh.
And when he whispers in your ear, it's only loud enough for you to hear. Nobody can confirm it. You can confirm it. So if God confirms this is your future, why would I want to run around looking for confirmation from someone else?
Yeah. It was a single call. It wasn't a conference call.
Come on. Yes, it was.
He dialed you.
Yes, he dialed me.
Yeah.
And so, and then that's where your beliefs come in. And then that's where your faith. Having faith in God is one thing.
Yes, ma'am.
But having faith in who God made you to be, created you to accomplish. That is where all of the miracles happen.
You don't have to answer this, but let me be personal for a moment. There is often a struggle between the self that is known and the self that one believes one is called to be. There's like a massive gap. It's a gaping galaxy between these. How do you navigate that? This is, in my experience, this is often the wilderness, right? This is the, because let me refresh. Have the idea, downloaded it spiritually, see it, vision there, but only I see it. Nobody else sees it.
Right.
Right. From here to there is tons of hours, days, experiences with other people, which probably will not confirm or affirm the place to which I'm headed. In fact, it'll often be a tension, a contestation. It'll be a pull back to where I'm from rather than a pull to where I'm going, right? You work with leaders who I imagine often have this problem. This is the challenge of leadership, is it has to imagine that which is not yet and then fashion that which it leads to believe that which is not yet and then take them there. But they're going to be kicking and screaming. You read it in scripture, right? It's not as if each time God called his people, they volunteered themselves. It was the inverse. You told a story yesterday of, and I love the way you told the story. There he is in Nineveh, and he's like, well, you got to go this way. No, I don't want to go that way. No, you got to go this way. No, I don't want to go that way. So this is the human experience. The human experience is if you are called for anything great and you're smart, you're going to resist the call because you know the pain. You know the cost.
Especially if you're called to leadership.
Oh, this is it.
Yeah, because you become a target.
This is exact right.
And you're targeted by people that don't have the courage to become what they have the potential to be.
Right.
So they project that onto you.
Yes.
Why do you have the courage? And why are you stepping out? Do you see the rest of us
Yes.
hanging out over here, following when we should be leading?
That's right.
Why are you leading?
So good.
It's the big question. And I think, it's a dilemma when we talk about best practices. This takes us back to corporate language. And one of the best practices of leadership is not just the ability to envision the future, but to articulate it. So, being able to articulate where we're going. Where are we going? When I was dating my husband, I asked him a question. I said, look, I've lived as a single woman all my life. So I had to figure out where I am going. But what I will not be comfortable with, if we are engaging in this relationship and you don't have a vision for us. I have a vision for me.
I get this.
I know you have a vision for you.
Yeah.
But what is the vision for
we.
us?
Yeah.
And if you do have it, please articulate it so that we can come into agreement. And I know how to run my play and you run your play. And the conversation goes like this. What do you expect of me as a wife? But what do you expect of me as a woman? That's two different conversations. Now, here's what I expect from you as a husband. And this is what I expect from you as a man. Two different conversations. And so there are times that you will have to just be the man and not my husband. And can I embrace that? So going back.
So good.
You have to have that conversation.
So good, Doc.
You're a business owner, an author, a speaker. So when you show up and you're talking with your spouse, who am I listening to? Am I listening to you as the man that's pursuing his dreams and his goals and his vision and it's got these titles? Or as the husband? My purpose partner.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
So likewise with me, And so the best practice is vision casting. This is where I think we should go. And here's where I know we have the capacity to go. And that this brings me to the next as we go together. Do we have the capacity as a team? So you can use that in family, but also in business as well. I know you can do it in operations. I know you can do it in HR. I know you can do it as an accountant. I've seen your resume. I see your education. I know you can do it. But do we have the capacity as a team to
do it together? Yeah.
Because now we got different disc personalities.
Gotcha.
A I, a S, a C. Yeah. Do we have the collective? And if we don't have the collective, then we'll self-destruct. It would be internal, not external. And then the final is execution. So what's the vision? Do we have the collective capacity? And then let's get on with it. Execution. And that's where, strategy comes, goals, KPIs are put in place. And it should tie all the way back to
that vision.
Yeah. And creating that corporate culture and capacity, that's your mission statement. Why are we here? Where are we going? Where do you see ourselves in some distant point in the future? And then do we have the culture to build the capacity? And that's in family, that's in relationship. And then we got all the miracles happening. And that's execution.
That's good. I'd love to end with this execution question, because it's actually what counts. Ultimately, we're all going to get adjudicated on the numbers on the scoreboard, right? Ultimately, when the bell sounds, I think it was John Donne who said, "Sin not to know for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee." Right? When the bell sounds, ultimately, you and I are going to be adjudicated on the numbers on the scoreboard. This is what I sent you to do. Have you done it? This execution part it seems to me, is the part where people lose it. Yesterday in my keynote, I was talking to these entrepreneurs about implementation fatigue. Mm-hmm. And I said to them, what we've seen in our business is most entrepreneurs fail when they fall out of love and into life with their business. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot like being in a long-term relationship, right? Mm-hmm. When you first meet a person, you're giddy and you get the butterflies and everything they do is perfect. But sooner or later, life happens, mm-hmm. and you get to experience them at a human level. Mm-hmm. And then you fall into life with them. Mm-hmm. And if you are committed or married, now there's children and bills, and that happens, right? So when that happens, the only thing that clears the fog mm-hmm. is if there's a clear execution plan. Mm-hmm. Because if there's an execution plan, then neither you nor I has to guess what has to take place. Mm-hmm. I know, you know, we know. Mm-hmm. Do your part, I'll do your part. Mm-hmm. As you said it, run your play, I'll run my play. So there are leaders watching this conversation, and they want to hear from Dr. Cindy's 3 principles mm-hmm. of execution. What would you say those are?
Number 1, self-care.
Okay.
You cannot care for a self that you don't know.
Yes, ma'am.
So it starts again with self-awareness and self-knowledge. Mm-hmm. That's very important. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're not nurturing yourself from the perspective of a title or a role that you wear, because you're going to burn out quickly.
Yes, ma'am.
You want to be able to center yourself in your own identity. Center it.
So good.
Without titles, mm-hmm. without roles, mm-hmm. without expectations. Mm-hmm. Center yourself in yourself. So in centering yourself, using that word self-care, the biggest question is, how do you care for yourself? How do you decompress? How do you de-stress? How do you build margin in your life? What makes you happy? What makes you feel satisfied? Do you go to bed every night with a sense of satisfaction? And that's self-fulfillment.
Got it.
Have you operated at the highest level of your potential? So that you're not living with regrets. So do the best you can. And then go to sleep. Never operate from a title or a role that you play. Give yourself permission to grow. And in growing, life becomes your laboratory.
So good.
Some things will blow up in your face, but that's still success, because you successfully discovered what will not bring the vision to pass, or your dreams, or your goal. You've successfully discovered it. Like
so good.
Edison, 1,000 times trying to create the light bulb. And so he said, you know, I never failed. I just discovered 1,000 ways of not creating God. So he changed the narrative, right? And spend more time being than doing. Be yourself. Be the amazing agent of change by demonstrating change. And then when the bell tolls and you stand before the great white throne.
Amen.
And he's handing out crowns.
Amen.
You're going to get a crown if you and every day became the best version of yourself. Because self-mastery is not selfish. It means that you show up 100% as you, fulfilling your assignment in this earth, like Superman, fulfilling your purpose, and without intentionally walking out in the world to do acts of humanitarianism. You automatically do it.
Because that's who you are.
Without the effort.
I love it.
Because if I show up giving 100% of who I am to life, to the world, to an assignment,
yes, ma'am,
then automatically I positively impact the world. And I positively move the world forward in my industry, in my field, by giving everything that I've got, thus contributing to the world becoming a better place because I became a better me.
You. So good.
So spend all the time becoming the next best version of yourself. And if that is raising 7 children like my mother in abject poverty and never remarrying and accepting the fact that she would have more than money, but her number one assignment was to raise Cindy Trimm.
So powerful.
She gets a crown.
Yes, ma'am.
We don't know who Albert Einstein's mother was. But when the school said he will never learn and told his mother, do not send him back to school.
That's right. Yeah.
Because he has a learning disability.
That's what they said about him. That's
and
right.
when his mother said, what did they say? And she says, that you are too intelligent to go to this school.
So good.
We have Albert Einstein.
So good.
Who never second guessed that although they thought he was on the spectrum, he would become the best Albert Einstein
in the world has ever seen.
And he would defy the scientific community.
Wow.
Who said E does not equal MC squared, and you can't prove it. And it took 100 years for them to build the technology to prove E equals MC squared. Wow. And many times, we're not just making history. Many times, we're not just making history. Many times, what we are doing is not for this generation.
Hey.
It's for a generation unborn to time.
Hey.
And so even if you're resisted, you still got to show up.
Hey, praise Jesus.
Even if they misunderstand you,
so good.
You still got to show up. Even if they reject you,
you still got to show up.
You can still show up. Why? Rejection is just an announcement that you've outgrown a realm, relationship, or region. And then a crisis will happen. A crisis is always an announcement that the next best version of you is getting ready to evolve.
It's so good.
So take hold of your life. Be responsible for the narrative, the stories you tell about yourself. Because the stories we tell about ourselves is the stories that we believe. So change your internal dialogue so that you can change the external outcome.
I wish I could open your skull and just like study your brain and get all of these wisdoms and download them into like a USB and plug them into mine.
And that's how we feel about you. You know, me listening to you, I said, he makes so much sense.
Thank you.
And, you know, there's the art of something and there's the science of something.
Yes, ma'am.
So I like this because I speak of the science and you speak of the art.
Yeah.
It's easy to digest art than it is to digest science.
Science, yeah. Yeah. I want to thank you for this conversation. We're truly privileged. It's seldom that one can be in a conversation that can expand your mind, but do so in a structured way that you do it. Mm-hmm. And it's certainly very rare to have somebody who has thought about the undergirding, the sequencing of these thoughts and ideas that change the world, and then taken the time to structure them scientifically, the likes of what you've done, and then lived it. Mm-hmm. It's the lived it part for me, right? Because it's all great on paper until you're doing it. Yeah. And so I want to say thank you for just being you.
Thank you so much.
You shine a light, I think, brighter than you yourself can understand. Mm-hmm. If you shine a light, sometimes it reaches its edges. Mm-hmm. And often at the edges of where that light reaches are the people who most need it. Mm. Yeah, because those people don't make it into the center from which the light is emit, but they need it nonetheless.
Yes.
And, oh man, may your light shine ever brighter.
You know, I just want to end with this. Sometimes everything around you is dark because you're the light. You stop looking for the light. Be the light. Just be it.
Right.
The spotlight is not on you because you're the spotlight.
You are the spotlight.
Be the light. Be the light.
Yeah. So your perception is it's dark in here. Yes, because you're supposed to be the light.
That's it.
That's so good. That's so good. The world is better for you in it.
Thank you so
and
much.
thank you so much for coming to South Africa. I know it's not your first time, and we look forward to hosting you here more.
You know the one thing I love about South Africa?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't laugh at me when I tell you.
Right.
Ocean basket. I'm in the States. I have visions and dreams. Besides the people.
Yeah, of course.
Let me qualify that. Besides the most amazing, loving, gifted, intelligent people that are South Africans, the next best thing about South Africa is Ocean Basket.
I'll tell them. So we'll add all of your links to the different platforms that people can find your work.
Please.
If there is somebody who's watching this conversation and they're encountering, I don't know how, but they're encountering Dr. Cindy Trimm for the first time, and they want to study your work, where would you recommend they start? What's the first thing they should read?
The first thing they should read is a book called Unstoppable.
Right.
The second is Prevail.
Right.
And the third is Hello Tomorrow.
Right.
And then Lodi and everything else.
Right.
And I think they will be blessed. My first book ever that sold multi-millions was a book that I introduced the power of the spoken word. And that was Commanding Your Morning. So the trilogy is Commanding Your Morning, Goodbye Yesterday, Hello Tomorrow.
Hello Tomorrow.
And Hello Tomorrow will help people with their vision.
Right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so
We
much.
have been honored and privileged.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Cindy Trimm.